His heart isn't just beating. It's a frantic bird trapped in a cage. His palms are slick with sweat, and his brain is screaming at him to turn around and run. Inside that room is a board of directors who could end his career before it even starts. Meet Liam. He isn't a natural leader. He's an introvert who hates the spotlight. But as he reaches for the door handle, something strange happens. He adjusts his shoulders, tilts his chin, and walks in like he owns the building. How? Because Liam knows a secret. Confidence isn't a feeling, it's a performance. And today, I'm going to show you how to give the performance of your life. 1. The biohack of the body. Liam takes his first step into the boardroom. The air is cold, and the silence is heavy. There are 5 people sitting across from him, each one a veteran in the industry. Liam feels like an imposter. He feels small, but Liam's body is telling a different story. Before he walked in, he spent 2 minutes in the restroom doing what social psychologist Amy Cuddy calls a high-power pose. By standing with his feet wide and hands on his hips, he triggered a biological shift. When we take up space, our brain experiences cognitive dissonance. Your mind thinks, wait, I'm acting like a lion. Why am I feeling like a mouse? To fix the glitch, the brain begins to lower cortisol, the stress hormone, by up to 25%, while pumping out testosterone. Liam walks to the head of the table. He doesn't rush. He doesn't fidget. He pulls out his chair slowly, letting the legs scrape against the floor. To the board, this isn't annoying. It's a signal of territorial dominance. He isn't worried about the noise because he isn't worried about their reaction. He sits down and places his hands firmly on the table, palms down. This is the steepling, or gravity hack. By keeping his hands visible and still, he is signaling honesty and stability. His brain is still terrified, but he has successfully hacked the board's subconscious. They are already thinking, this guy knows something we don't. Turn 2. The sound of authority. The chairman speaks. Liam, we've seen your proposal. Why should we give you the lead on the Tokyo acquisition? Liam's old self would have answered immediately. He would have used filler words like and like to fill the silence. He would have spoken from his throat, making his voice thin and high-pitched. But Liam uses the Confidence Heuristic. This is a psychological mental shortcut. Humans tend to believe that someone who speaks with certainty is more competent than someone who is actually correct, but sounds hesitant. Liam waits. He lets a full 3 seconds of silence hang in the air. In a high-stakes room, silence is a vacuum, and the person who is most comfortable in that vacuum holds the power. Then he speaks. He lowers his pitch, speaking from his diaphragm. He doesn't use uptalk, that rising inflection at the end of a sentence that makes a statement sound like a question. Instead of saying, I think I can handle it, he says, I will deliver the results. He is using declarative language. He isn't asking for permission to be right. He is stating a reality. Even though his stomach is in knots, the board hears a voice that sounds like a foundation of solid rock. Before we see if Liam actually lands the deal, let's get you the Psychology Everyday Toolkit. If you want to master the hidden scripts of human behavior and turn your social anxiety into social power, hit that subscribe button. We help you decode the mind every single week. Now, let's see what happens when Liam makes a mistake. 3. The Pratfall Effect in eye contact. About 10 minutes into the presentation, the unthinkable happens. Liam is reaching for a document and accidentally knocks his glass of water over. It splashes across the table. The room goes quiet. Liam's internal imposter is screaming, You're a failure. They know you're faking it. But Liam knows about the Pratfall Effect. Psychologist Elliot Aronson discovered that when a highly competent person makes a small mistake, their likability actually increases. Perfection is intimidating and unrelatable. Flaws are human. Liam doesn't blush. He doesn't apologize 10 times. He takes a napkin, wipes the water calmly, and says with a small smirk, "Well, I guess I'm making a splash already." The board laughs. The tension breaks. By refusing to let the mistake rattle him, he proved his confidence was deeper than just a good mood. He showed he was secure enough to handle his own clumsiness. As the meeting continues, Liam uses strategic eye contact. He doesn't stare aggressively. Instead, he uses the triangle method. He looks at one eye, then the other, then the mouth, and back to the eyes. This creates a sense of intimacy and gaze locking that releases oxytocin in the other person's brain, making them feel more connected to him. He focuses on the decision maker, the woman at the end of the table who hasn't said a word. He holds her gaze just 1 second longer than is comfortable. This signals that he is not intimidated by her status. In the world of high-level psychology, the person who breaks eye contact first is usually the person who feels subordinate. Liam never breaks first. 4. When the fake becomes real. By the end of the hour, Liam is no longer faking it. Something incredible has happened in his brain, because he has spent 60 minutes acting like a confident man, breathing deeply, taking up space, and speaking with authority. His neuroplasticity has kicked in. The repeated firing of confident neural pathways has silenced his amygdala, the part of the brain responsible for the fight-or-flight response. His body is finally caught up to his performance. He is no longer Liam, the nervous introvert. He is Liam, the leader. The chairman stands up and reaches across the table. "Liam, you've got the lead. We'll see you in Tokyo." Liam shakes his hand, a firm web-to-web grip. He doesn't linger too long, and he doesn't squeeze too hard. He keeps it neutral and professional. As he walks out of the room and the heavy oak door closes behind him, Liam finally lets out a long breath. His hands are still a little shaky, but he's smiling. He didn't win because he had the most experience. He won because he understood the psychology of presence. He realized that the world doesn't see your internal fear. It only sees the signals you choose to broadcast. Confidence is a muscle, not a birthright. Most of the most confident people you know are actually just master performers who learned the script earlier than you did. You don't need to wait until you feel brave to act brave. You use the body to change the mind. You use the silence to change the room. And you use the mistakes to change the connection. So, which of Liam's weapons are you going to fake tomorrow? The power pose in the mirror or the 3-second pause? Tell me your game plan in the comments below. Give this a like if you're ready to reclaim your seat at the table, and I'll see you in the next one.